I'm Adam,
And I'm Tango.
and this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Hey Tango, guess what I found at school? A whole bunch of cardboard boxes.
Really? That sounds exciting. What are you gonna do with them?
Well, I was thinking of using them for an art project with my students. We could build a cardboard city.
That sounds like so much fun. I can already imagine little cardboard skyscrapers and houses.
Maybe we can even make a cardboard stable for you.
That would be amazing. I'd love to have my own cardboard palace.
And who knows, maybe we can even make a cardboard shoe store for you to display all your shoe treasures.
Now you're talking. That would be a dream come true for me.
In today's book, Terrence the turtle was born without a shell, so he uses a cardboard box instead. Terrence loves his box, but when another turtle points out that his shell is, well, weird, he begins to wonder whether there might be a better shell out there. Let's get started. The Box Turtle by Vanessa Roeder. When the little box turtle hatched, his parents noticed something missing.
Oh me.
Oh my! But they weren't dismayed. They gave him a name and a shell, both of which fit just right. Now remember, Terrence, you are so much more than just a shell. Terrence's shell kept him dry on the soggiest days, safe from the snoopiest strangers, and on the scariest nights, it was big enough to share. Terrence loved his shell. Until one day,
Your shell is weird.
suddenly Terrence's shell seemed too boring, too bizarre, and too big for the little box turtle to bear.
People call me weird because I collect shoes. Can you believe that?
Well, you do have a point, Tango. I mean, you're a horse who collects shoes, and that's definitely unique. But it's also pretty cool. Remember that time I brought you to school's career day and the kids were amazed by your shoe collection?
I do remember that. The kids loved it. They were so surprised to see a horse with such a quirky hobby. It's funny how people's perception of weird can change when they see something in a different light.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show that being different can be a good thing. It adds some excitement to our lives. It's what makes us special.
You're right. We might be considered weird by some, but we're also loved for our uniqueness. It's all about embracing what makes us who we are.
So he abandoned it to search for something better. Terrence searched high and low until
Wowee!
his new shell looked sleek, but it showed too much cheek. The search continued. Ooh la la! He looked classy. He looked sassy. He looked just like Grandma Mildred. He looked for another shell. Oh yeah! He found it. A perfectly polka-dotty package that was positively petrifying. Terrence tried shell after shell after shell, but nothing fit. This whole situation stung him a lot. That's it. I give up. Here you go. I remember one time when I tried something new. I decided to take up salsa dancing. It was quite the adventure.
Salsa dancing, you say? That sounds like quite a change from your usual routine. How did it go?
Well, it was a bit challenging at first, learning all those fancy footwork and spins. But I had a great teacher who guided me through it. In the end, I could dance the night away at some social events.
I can only imagine how different that must have been from teaching. Speaking of trying something new, I once tried horseback riding. It was quite an experience.
You just blew my mind a little bit. How do you sit on top of another horse?
Not me riding, but giving rides.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
The first time I was a bit nerve-wracking. I had to learn to trust the rider and get used to all the movements. But over time, I got the hang of it, and now I just love it.
Oh, wow. In that moment, the hermit crab showed what it meant to be a friend. The little crustacean was so much more than just a shell, and maybe Terrence was too. Terrence knew what he needed. But when he found his old shell, oh no, it had changed.
It's okay, we can fix it.
The task was big enough to share. Terrence patched on soggy days. He toiled on chilly nights. Finally, the shell was finished. It wasn't sleek or sassy. It was far from perfect, and definitely weird. But Terrence wasn't dismayed, because this little box turtle was so much more than just his shell. We had a new student named Max join our class. He had a unique way of doing things. Instead of sitting at his desk, he preferred to stand and draw during class. At first, some of the other students thought that it was odd, but I encouraged them to be open-minded.
Being open-minded and accepting of differences is what makes the world an interesting place. So what happened next?
Well, I remember one day Max brought in his sketchbook and he started drawing during a math lesson. The other kids were puzzled, but I asked Max to share his artwork. When he did, it was incredible. His drawings were so creative and detailed.
It sounds like Max had a different and unique talent. Did the other students change their perspective after that?
Once they saw how talented Max was, they started asking him questions about his drawings and even wanted to learn how to draw like him. Turned out that Max's unique way of learning and expressing himself had a positive impact on the class.
It just goes to show that accepting someone for being different can lead to wonderful discoveries and friendships.
Speaking of wonderful things, if you enjoyed this video, it'd be wonderful if you liked it and subscribed to the channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Tango.
And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Did you know eastern box turtles are the official reptiles of Tennessee and North Carolina? They were nearly the state reptile of Pennsylvania as well.